Hello everyone, Charles Coleman here, presenting to you a reaction video. Yes, one of the most distinctive genres in the YouTube world. I just came across this thing entitled Classical Music is Dead. Oh, whatever. Very annoying. I guess it was attempted as a form of what we call clickbait for us classical-oriented folks, whether we be musicians or listeners. And we've seen various variations of is classical music dying, let alone that there have been stories and speculative articles about this going on well over 100 years since the turn of the 20th century. So congratulations, buddy. What's your name? Piergiorgio Congrats, you got me in terms of your clickbait title, and I am both intrigued and already annoyed. Of course, I am a classical musician, both a composer, conductor, and vocalist, so naturally I want to give my 2 cents as I watch this. I admittedly have my own bias, given that this is what I do, and therefore I will probably have something to say. I don't know whether I'm going to be intrigued or annoyed. So far, I'm both. Let's see what happens. Let's check it out.
Guys, this is not clickbait. I'm telling you this isn't clickbait. If you care about the
not clickbait. Go on.
well-being of classical music, you have to listen to my story. Earlier this week, I got to watch my favorite pianist of all time perform. And no, I know what you're thinking. It's going to make your YouTube channel. No. If you've been around my channel since a YouTube video titled When the Third Movement of Rachmaninoff Kicks In, you would know that I use a very specific recording / performance for that video. And that very interpretation of the Third Rachmaninoff Piano Concerto was done by an absolute mastermind named Alexander Malofeev. In fact, I've even got him in one of my latest videos, which is titled 8 Levels of Child Prodigies, and he appears twice. Many of you know how great he is. I've been a fan of his work ever since I really got back into the piano. And when I realized that he was performing not too far away from where I am, I had to get tickets. In fact, I got the last 2 tickets, one for me and one for my dad. And for some reason, they were right in front of the stage. Here I am freaking out going, the audience is going to be wild, it's a sold out concert, I'm going to be listening to one of the greatest Rachmaninoff interpreters of all time. So here I am on the day of the concert.
He's great. Not sure he's that great. You know, this is what happens when you're spoiled by listening to guys like Vladimir Horowitz, Vladimir Ashkenazy, and a few others. Anyway, moving on.
Got a nice blue button down, clean blue jacket, and you guys already know I've got the ice on my wrist, all right? I've got no. Got the ice on my wrist. And here's a photo of me actually at the concert hall. It was great, but
what kind of ice are we talking about?
Everyone in the audience is over the age of 105. Well, I'm kidding, but I mean, really. There was not a single young person except for me, and I think that there were maybe 10 to 15 people total below the age of 25. And this was out of...
Not a single person, and there were only 10 people. No, that doesn't sound hypocritical. Also, I should mention that, most of the people that go to general classical music concerts are older, but they were younger at some point and then subsequently went to concerts at a later age. For all we know, maybe people at the age of people in their 20s now will go to classical concerts when they're older subsequently. So it's not like the audience is dying, is that certain people get to a certain age and they choose a particular genre they're interested in. It's not about the genre dying. No, I'm not biased. Anyway, let's keep going.
Hundreds of people that attended the concert. And you may be saying, well, what's wrong with that? Here's what's wrong with that. If you guys have seen some of my videos, you understand why I do what I do. I want classical music to prosper and thrive, not to survive and die. I mean, that's why I use memes in my videos.
Then what's with the title, Classical Music is Dead? You clickbait.
It's like a way for me to communicate with the younger generation, aka my generation, and it keeps classical music hip, right? Aside from that, the most incredible wave of depression really just kicked in as I was sitting there. Here I am, I'm telling my dad, like, am I the only person younger below the age of 25? We're both shocked, but anyway. I'm here to enjoy the concert and focus on Alexander as if you were to cast a spell on the audience like Tinkerbell using her pixie dust. And the time finally arrives and Alexander comes onto the stage. And when he walks out, the audience erupts. Like, here I am clapping like crazy. And then he takes notice of me and he starts to smile. You know, I was chuckling, smiling back at him. You know, I know he noticed me. Like, you know, here he is. I'm so privileged to watch Alexander perform. He looks at the rest of the audience, soaks it in, and is ready to perform. One thing I took notice of was the fact that the piano bench was so low to the ground. Here's a picture of how his bench was positioned. The piano bench is like 1 foot off the ground, and here I am wondering how on earth he's gonna play. You know, my heart is beating like crazy when I hear the opening notes of the Beethoven Moonlight Sonata. I'm hooked. You know, I'm here to enjoy the music that he's about to share with everyone and just be transported to another dimension. I'm gonna spare you guys some time and cut to the end of the concert because this is where things go crazy. And so when he's done performing with the perfect Rachmaninoff Etude to end the concert with from Opus 33, everyone is going crazy. Like, I'm just smiling, you know, I'm happy for him. He played an absolutely stellar concert. And so he walks off, comes back on, the audience is still going crazy, and he plays an encore by Ventnor. Now here's where things got me upset. Remember how I mentioned the age of the audience? They really had no idea what they were listening to. Really, they were absolutely clueless. You know, as he's done performing his encore and he's taking in the applause, people start walking away like this. Hey, did you get your bag? And I'm turning.
So what? People have to go sometimes. You don't think that they don't leave maybe after a pop band has an encore and like you don't notice that they're leaving? But you notice in a classical concert? I mean, I don't understand this argument. People have to go at sometimes, catch the train, whatever. But they stuck around for the whole concert and they were cheering as they did. Look, and I'm as passionate a classical musician as any of them, as anyone, like this guy, of course. But the burdens of examining how an audience reacts to it, that's my problem. That doesn't make it a problem for the rest of the classical community. Am I overanalyzing? Probably. Just like this guy is. Moving on.
I'm turning around like, what is going on? Why is half of the audience leaving? You know, here I am.
Because the concert's over. At least it's finished. What about the people that are sticking around? You know, so what if some people are leaving? And you're enjoying it too. Are you more interested in the concert or are you more interested in the people leaving?
I'm mentally raging and I'm trying to get an encore clap going with my dad. This one dude who's right next to me notices and starts going, I'm like, let's go, we're gonna get another encore. But you know, I mean, he leaves, and if I were him, my mindset would have been great. I don't have to play anymore. I can head to bed early, get some nice sleep, and move on to my next concert.
Early? The concert's ended. Early or late, whatever.
I walked out of there knowing that what I hope to do and what many other large YouTube channels like Tiffany Poon, Two Set Violin, Ben at Tone Based Piano, they're getting younger people into classical music. They might not be doing that willingly, but they are as a result of their amazing work. And so we need to save classical music.
I don't know Tiffany Poon. I'm very curious to check this person out. I do know Two Set Violin. Supposedly they retired, and now I'm hearing they're making a comeback, or sort of. They're playing games with us. I don't know what that Two Set whole thing is all about. They're doing, I think, a live video soon to explain everything. Anyway, going on.
All right. I can't let it, like, who's gonna be sitting in the audience if I'm only one of 10 other people below the age of 25 and the rest are over 100? Maybe I'm overanalyzing this to an unrealistic...
Yes, you're overanalyzing it. I love this genre too. Let's have a good time promoting it and stuff. I mean, where to go, where to begin?
...degree, but man, was I disappointed. At the end of the day, I learned...
That's your problem. Enjoy the concert and let's appreciate, and it's not about the genre, it's about the artists and the music itself within the genre.
I learned two things. One, classical music is dying. I don't care what statistics are on the internet.
What statistics? The This whole argument about classical music dying has been going on for well over a century. I just said that earlier. We're still doing it. It's been dying supposedly forever. And no, it's not as popular as certain genres, but there is still an audience. About a month ago, I saw my friend Paavo Järvi conduct the New York Philharmonic at Geffen Hall, and it was wonderful to a packed audience. I was there. I sat behind the orchestra, right behind the brass section, which is a wonderful seat, a great place to sit. The music is just envelops over you. It was the Nielsen Fifth Symphony. Amazing stuff. If classical music is dying per se, it's been dying for over 100 years at least. Last I checked, it's still here. Last I checked, I still get paid for the work that I do in the classical world, whether it be composing or whether it be performing. This whole general outlook of the dying of a genre is foolhardy to me. Let's go on.
Are on the internet. That is actual proof of it. And Alexander Malofeev is a truly incredible pianist. Please go check out the links in the description. They will contain Alexander's social media and his concert schedule. If you are in the area of which he is performing, please go do your best to watch him perform. You won't regret it. As always, if you made it this far into the video, what are you doing? Like, go practice or something. I don't know. But while you're leaving to go grab your instrument and practice, consider hitting that like and subscribe button, and I will catch you all in my next video.
I might subscribe to annoy you, and I don't know. Okay, he's a nice guy, and I appreciate his enthusiasm over this genre that we are involved in. I'm passionate about it too, but I'm also aware that the genre for us musicians are nothing more than a tool that we musicians use to utilize our work. As a vocalist, I discovered I had a bigger, I guess I was born with something, what I was born with in terms of the size of my vocal cords and throat, that I found myself having too big a voice to do certain pop music. And whenever I do karaoke, I don't do a lot of regular pop music because it's usually too high and my voice sounds, you don't want to hear me do some bizarre genre, but in any case, the bottom line is, to me, it shouldn't be about the genre as much as it is about the music within the genre and the musicians that play in this genre. I'm passionate about it, but I'm not going to tell some person who doesn't know about it, this is what it's all about, and if you don't like it, you're an idiot. I'm sure this guy, this Piergiorgio is a nice enough guy, and I appreciate his passion, but I'm also concerned about how it comes across in terms of intimidating people that don't know anything about this amazing genre called classical music. As some of you know, I do an opera night at a cocktail bar in Lower Manhattan, and most of the time, a lot of people, when we start, a lot of people don't know that opera is about to be performed. But once we start, the vast majority of the audience, they don't know anything about opera, but they like what they hear when they're there. It's classical music could be a little bit intrusive in terms of its presence, because it's meant to be listened to more directly than most other genres. And so when you play it, when you perform opera or any classical music in a cocktail bar where a lot of people don't expect it, it's a little risque. I'm proud to say that most of the time, a lot of people like it, know what they hear, even if they don't know anything about it. The fact is they like what they hear. Again, when I do what I do as a performer, as a composer, I don't do it to promote my genre. I do it because I have something to say, and this is the best way I can say it, regardless of the genre it comes out of. I think people in general look at individual artists, not necessarily the genre that comes out of what, no matter what it is, whether it be jazz or anything else. A lot of people know more about Harry Connick Jr. than they know about jazz. because he's damn good at what he does. And by the way, yeah, Rachmaninoff is great, but let's talk about the great living composers that are around today. Of course, legends like Steve Reich, Philip Glass, Arvo Pärt, John Adams, a lot of my heroes. But I'm proud to say that there are a lot of other great composers of my generation or younger. Need I mention Kevin Putz, Derek Bramell, Gene Pritzker, Stephen Hartke, and all sorts of wonderful composers. So let's take a look at the living composers too, who write just as amazing and valid music as the classics, Rachmaninoff, Chopin, and all those other guys, and Bach and whatever. So I appreciate this guy's passion for the music. I'm just concerned about how it comes across in terms of what it pertains to this genre. Classical music is not dead. And if it's been dying for well over 100 years. Okay, that's my feeling on this. Let me know what you think. Until next time.